Hello, I'm Hal Sanderson. I'm Director of Research and Assessment at Kane School District, and I'm also representing the Data Dashboard Development Group today, and I'm going to go over the new Reports module. I'm very excited about being able to get this in the hands of educators who can start using it. Ultimately, it's really going to save time and energy of people who are very busy, and hopefully we're going to get some really good products that can be useful. So let's get into it. So the goals of this reports module is to really help make some pre-built test, or I'm sorry, not test, but reports that you can build a nice report and essentially have it do an auto update over time when new test elements come in. So if you're doing the reading inventory, set it up in the fall and you'll get the fall benchmark, and the chart will update with the mid-year benchmark, and then it will update with the spring benchmark. So you're able to spend your time looking at what the results mean and looking at different student groups and based on interventions, rather than having you or an internal coach, or in years past where we had external coaches or everybody else would be pulling charts, and they would be pulling charts every 3 months to be able to pull together. Well, hopefully this will, the goal is to really get out of that situation where you're repeatedly pulling similar charts when new data comes in, that this can be more of an automated feature and it will kind of come preloaded. The other nice feature will be that you can share your report, which will serve kind of like a template to others. So if you're one middle school looking at math achievement, and with particular groups, maybe you have a focus with the TSI school that you're wanting to track and really follow, that you could take this report and share it. We'll show you how to do that. And other colleagues across the district, and especially middle schools, would be able to pull that report, and once they grab that report and save it to their school, it will populate with their school results. So that'll save a lot of time, and for good reports that are built, they can share that across a variety of schools and people to be able to really spread our talent and save people time. And hopefully these reports will be able to better support program evaluation and looking at our interventions. So here's how you get into it. Main page you're used to with the dashboard.canesdistrict.org. Here is the icon. It is a report. Dashboard reports, you can get it on your favorites bar. I've highlighted a few on my webpage where they're at, but you can always go to the waffle and select it there and then add it to your favorites. So let's go in a little bit more. When you click the reports module, you will go into a report manager, and it will have reports that you have built in the past. If you clicked find shared reports, that's where you could go out into the broader community to see what reports people have built. And over time, we're going to have tags to go with the reports. So if you're looking at ML students and you're looking at math achievement, you could put those as 2 tags. So when your colleagues are out looking for reports, they would be able to search on those tags to see who's looking at ML students or who's looking at students with disabilities, and what do those charts look like. So it's going to help them find work that they can just basically take and then kind of build from. Here's the other features of managing both editing, copying, and starting a new report. When you click the add report or build report, you'll be asked to immediately name the report, provide a description. You can see that there are some features where you can upload a photo, a video, as well as do some hyperlinks within your report, and then fonts and other types of things that you can do to make it nice and interesting and appealing to the users. And the tags is where you would put those selection where you would select keywords to help people find it. And then here at the bottom you have features, and I would just recommend on the first few reports you build, just select all the features that you've got there to kind of see. But one that's really important will be to share the report, so be sure that you have that, and then just click done to go into the main page. So where can you find these charts? Not everything within the dashboard environment is able to move to it yet, but the big ones that are involved in behavior or student achievement are involved. And so modules that really start, that are dominated with a lot of charts, is the trend module. And that includes the early warning systems. So you have early warning behavior systems that you can bring in those dimensions and those charts. You have the compare module that is also been launched, and there's a video that goes with that to look at the compare module. And then the data mining, which is a really large environment where you can find about anything. Just be careful to make sure you're asking focused questions, but that's another good place for a wide variety of charts to be able to go through. But what you'll need to look at when you go into a chart is just look for a blue clipboard that's at the upper left corner, and that's where you would just kind of click it, and it says, do you want to add it to your home screen, or do you want to add it to a report? Realize it's going to take a little time to author the reports, but the idea is if you can have a good report that will work for multiple years, then in the long run you're going to save a lot of time. It's a matter of getting used to building it with the features. Here's a report that I have built, kind of playing around with it. You are able to come in here and to build just a text box that you can use as a title and different sections. So here's my demographics. If I'm looking at low-income students, here's my header for those charts. And then I can go in here and do a narrative. So again, if I'm doing my PSSP goals and how I could do it, I'd say here's my action steps, here's what our goal was, here's what our progress has been, here are our next steps. So there's a lot that you can put into that narrative, and it's a report that you can share widely within your school community, most immediately with your BLT and other teachers. They could be able to look at it. And then you can see here's some charts with focusing more on the reading inventory over time. But that just kind of gives you an example of a layout that you can do. And there are an auto update feature, and I'll show you that when we get into it. So to help you guide you to go into this new environment, I just wanted to give you some recommended ideas or some ways to pull it together. And so the steps for building a report, the biggest and most important thing is really make sure you have a plan for your report. What is the purpose? What is it going to be for TSI? Is it going to be for your school community council? What data do you need to use within the dashboarding environment, or is there a chart you need to bring in from another data source? And who is the audience of the report? When you have that sketched out on a piece of paper or really laid out of the elements and the charts you want, you can go into the reports module and click Add Report. I'll show you. I recommend you get a bunch of text boxes that you can use for a variety of things for dividing up your report. Go out and find modules and look for your charts and click the blue clipboard and save to your report. Continued with the narrative about the data charts, and then be sure to select Share. So let's go out and look at this. So from the home page, I go to my favorites and I click the dashboard and the reports. Here's that screen that we were talking about. I have a report I call a new math report that I've been working on. Let me go in and open that. You can see here's where you would do the add report and the tag. So if I hit new report, my math report, it's pulled up a few things. These here are add tile to report, add descriptive tile. That's what this is here, and this is here that I've kind of built in. You can do that. This one, you can see that this chart here I built from the compare module. You can see the icon in the corner to show you where in dashboard your charts have come from. So I built this one from the compare module, and then if you scroll down, I have inventory. Should be math inventory, my apologies, but you can see with the icon there that this was pulled from the math inventory. But let's go and appropriately pull something from the math inventory like I wanted to. So let me go to the trend module and go in. I'm at the middle school. I want to go into mathematics. I'm in the math inventory here, and I want to look at my winter benchmark. It's kind of hot off the press there, and you can kind of see where I'm at, and you can see here is that blue clipboard. So I'm looking at math inventory over time, just at the aggregate level for my school. I can click add, and it shows where do you want to add. Do you want to put it to your home screen? Well, that's going to be tempting to go, but you're going to go into my math report and click the blue clipboard, and then it's going to ask for, let me scroll this up a little bit here. It's going to ask for some decisions that you need to make for this tile or chart report. The school year is this school year. You can see that I can do the report year, or I can add to it so it can kind of go into the future. I'm going to stay at the report. I like the graph. I don't need to change that one. If I customize the title, if I click yes to that, you can see there's options that I can write over the default title and give it a new title if I want to. And then I have other things like the school name and other things that can be appended. So those are choices that you can make with kind of setting up the chart. I hit OK, and here is that new chart. You can see it moves around, but you need to size it. So if you go into the corner here, you can work on resizing your charts to find the best way that it works. It takes a minute to kind of render it for that kind of space, and then you can kind of move it around. As you move this report around, it'll kind of bounce around for some of the other tiles, so you can see that it's moving this text from this other chart that I have. So let's have me move this out of the way. I'll close that with the red X to delete that icon. So I have that math inventory, and if I want to add narrative to that, I do add descriptor. And here it is, and so I can do in the descriptor, let's say the performance is at nothing too elaborate, I admit, but anyways, I type something in here, and then again you're kind of having to resize it, and then you can position it below the chart, so you can see and say, oh, I really don't like that one. Then you can go ahead if you want to highlight the text. You can do it here if you want to make it larger in the font size. You can do that. If you want to do a bolded list or paragraph, you can do all of that. Similar features that you've seen in the dashboard environment. So now that's highlighted. You could use different colors for it. So you can kind of see that move around. If you want to position this a little bit better on your demographics, you can fill that in kind of nicely there. If you want to just focus on grades, you could do that. Let's see. So it just takes some practice to get used to how it behaves. As they're kind of this auto positioning within your report. It is saved, so you already have the auto save. So I hope this gives you a quick overview. I know it's about 15 minutes. I'm sorry that this is a very big module. There's a lot of capability within it, and it's just going to take you spending some time with it. We hope to be able to get out more examples over time. That's going to involve you and other people in the Canyons community to share reports, and we're looking at doing a user group, so I'll look for information around that. So please let us know. Give us your feedback to the dashboard development team, Jeff Murray, Laura Tusi-Heathfield, Julie Steffen, myself, everybody else. We hope that you enjoy this and find it very valuable for your work, and we can build some important things together and ultimately save some time. So thank you. Let us know your feedback. Have a great afternoon or evening.